Hello. Is Fox Crow an IG group? Hello.
You're breaking up. Yeah, I'm listening.
Is Fox Crow an IG group? Because you say you are not speaking as a Fox Crow or IG group defense chair or something like that.
Fox Crow is an IG care persona.
It's an IG care persona. What does that mean?
It's an IG care persona. Persona.
Can you break it down?
And the IG care outfit is ARG.
ARG.
Correct.
That ARG stands for what?
Ambazonia Revolutionary Guards.
Okay. That's new to me. So the Fox Crew is like you are the director or the commander-in-chief or the coordinator of the IG Care's army.
The ARG, IG Care does not have an army. Nobody owns an army. Ambazonian community as a collective owns an army. Everything we do it for Ambazonia.
Okay, but that means you are like the head of the IG's forces.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I just wanted to identify you so that I know.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. So when I say that because the Ambazonian community in Houston, knowing fully well that we the last time Dr. Ayabacho was here in Houston, we all as a community supported the initiative of the EDF. It's through that faith that community is requesting through your office, just like we contacted Baba for to contact you and to contact Dr. Ayaba, that this particular case is a member of our community, and we would like you to show us that you care about us.
You know,
as Ambazonians.
You know, sometimes we have to be very, very honest when we communicate. When you say the Ambazonian community in Houston, are you talking about the Ambazonian group of the IG? Because you have different community that represent Ambazonia. You also have the Ambazonian Governing Council's mission in Houston. They also have that represents the interest of our state. And they will not... Hello. So the Ambazonian mission represents the Ambazonian Governing Council. There is no group in Ambazonia that represent the whole community, the whole state. That means they represent the IG, they represent the IG of Siseko and Sako, and then the Governing Council. Every community is organized either under the umbrella of one organization or under a traditional organization. So if you are speaking, you have to address you have to represent the community you are speaking for properly and appropriately so that I understand. But if you speak in broad terms and say that you are speaking on behalf of the Ambazonian community in Houston, it means that you are speaking for both the Governing Council people there and the Sakos people there, which is not the case. I hope you get me clearly. Hello? Hello?
You can have members in there who support ADF. You can have members.
Say again. Go ahead. My phone was a little bit off.
Hold on. Look, I'm telling you about my community. And in this community, we have one community. You have members in that community that supports ADF. You have members in that community that supports Sokadef. You have members in that community that supports any other faction. But we are a community, we remain a community.
Are you organized? Is the community organized with a structure like they have a president, a vice, and things like that?
We do have a community organization.
The community organized. No, the community that you are mentioning, the community that you are talking on behalf, do they have a president?
Capo, we have a president in Houston.
What is his name?
Say that again?
What is his name?
It's not important.
It is important because if you say you are talking on behalf of the community, I must take it seriously. So I must inquire about who is this community. If the community have a president, and you say that the community represents the Ambazonian people there. The Ambazonian people are represented. They have the governing council who have a representative there. You have the IG of SACO who have a representative there. And if you claim that your organization represents everybody, then I must ask who is the leader there, so that I can also verify whether you are saying the truth or not. And the reason why I want to listen to you, but the reason why I must make sure you properly present yourself, so that I take what you say as important as it's supposed to be, because we are fighting for the country, and if a community calls, we must take it seriously. But if you say if you call me and you tell me you are of the Siseko's group or the Yerima's group, I will listen to you like that. But if you claim that you are representing the whole Southern Cameroon community there, that means you represent both the governing council's mission, the SACO's group, and your group, and then I will take you as such. So it's very important for me that you don't misrepresent yourself.
Capo Daniel, I think you are ignoring what I told you. I've given you 3 things that I've said when I introduced myself. I introduced myself as a persona. I introduced myself as a member of a community. I introduced myself as someone that community chose to talk to you. And I told you who in that community chose me to talk to you, a family member. And that is the terms, that is the parameter that I'm talking to you.
Okay, that means you are talking as a person of interest from a community that the sister of the subject have approached you. It is not like you are representing an organization that represents the community.
No.
Okay.
And I keep on saying community.
Yeah, you know why? I will listen to you. I will listen to you. You know why I insist on that? Because we as Ambazonian, we are fond of misrepresenting ourselves. You have a group of some people, even in the governing council, but you have people primarily from the SACO's group or the Yerima group who go around presenting themselves like they are representing the country exclusively, or they are representing they are the government speaking on behalf of everybody. No. Every group must properly present themselves. The governing council represents a constituent. They represent a faction. The IG represents a faction. The Siseko represents a faction. And if you are coming to people like that, I will understand you very well and I will receive you very well. So I just talk about this because you say that you are representing the community, Southern Cameroon community, so it was a misrepresentation. But I'm listening to you now like a person of interest who have been contacted by the family member about this case.
Correct. Daniel, with all due respect, I am not one of those people who miss his words. And I hate to be misquoted, and I hate to be misrepresented. You cannot create a narrative of what I am telling you. You have to understand what I'm telling you so that you can understand me properly.
Yeah, sorry, my phone have a sudden drop in network. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So I was trying to say, I'm going to repeat this communication again so that at least we are clear on both ends. Is that okay with you?
Repeat, please. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I have not said I'm representing anybody or any organization. You asked me who I was.
Go ahead.
I will stop texting me. It's my son calling me. Okay, you asked me who I was and I introduced myself to you. Okay? So I introduced myself to you as the persona from AROG. And I said the context of me contacting you is due to the doping arrest. And I've said the purpose I'm calling you is because the sister who is present in this community that I belong wants me to contact you and resolve this issue. Are we clear with that? Is that clear? I have not mentioned.
Yeah, it's clear.
It's
clear. So you are part of a group called RR something of the IG group, but you are talking on behalf.
It is not very.
I know important. That is your profile now. You are from that group. You are calling me not as a representative of that group. Yeah, you are just talking as somebody from the community that have been contacted by the family. I understand. Go ahead.
Look, this community supports anybody who walks into this community as a community. And each time there is a crisis, we have people in this community we call upon to go up front and talk to those involved. We have a Mr. Doping under your keeping. The family needs him released, and I'm contacting you in respect to that.
Okay, let me make it clear to you. Mr. Doping is not under my keeping. I don't have a power to release Mr. Doping. Mr. Doping is under the keeping of the Ambazonia Defense Forces. It is an organization. Me, Capo Daniel, I am an official of that organization. I can only act in my capacity as that official who oversees them and represents the collective will of that organization about his holding and his keeping. He is being held because of failure to comply with an order that has been given by the War Council. It is not a Capo Daniel's issue. I'm doing my job as an official to represent the organization to you people. So if you are making a request, you are making a request to the Ambazonia Defense Forces Governing Council through me. Are we clear on that?
But we are very clear on that. That's the purpose of the conversation in the first place. So it is irrelevant to state that, because that is the purpose I'm calling you. I'm not calling you as Capo Daniel.
Oh, perfect. I just want to be clear.
Representative of the ADF. I'm not a lunatic on the street, on the side of the street who doesn't understand this.
Oh, go ahead.
Why didn't I call Baba? Or why didn't I call anybody else? Why didn't I call Kiaka? Why didn't I call the guy in Galveston over here?
Okay, bro. Go ahead.
So the communication I was trying to make to you, Capo Daniel, is that this revolution we support as a community. We support anybody doing anything on the ground. And there are people in this community that supports the ADF. There are people in this community that supports SOCADEF. There are people in this community that supports SACO. There are people in this community that supports SECO. But we are not calling the ADF as individuals of organizations. We are calling the ADF as Ambazonians. That we feel this particular case should not be a case of an Ambazonian being held for a violation by calm water. That Ambazonian family should not pay the price for calm water. And we are pleading that the ADF understand that that family needs their son back. The purpose and the reason being that through your negotiations with them, they had paid 2.3 million and you had released the wife. We believe and strongly believe that they have supported the ADF. And we plead that you all release that man. That's the purpose of the conversation. The same appeal I've made to you because you were sleeping and made Baba Forward actually left this communication with you. And I believe that I also made that same appeal to Joe Lucas Ayaba.
I'll take your request. I've received your request. I will pass your request to the War Council and I will help them to understand the background and the appeal you have made. We take appeal from our community very seriously, so it will be taken into consideration. And you should understand that Mr. Doping have not been held because he is Mr. Doping. He was picked up while on service in a service vehicle because the company he works for and the company he represents have violated the order given by the Ambazonia Governing Council. He's being treated as a subject of that case, and we have made sure that nobody harms him and his rights will be fully respected. I've received your request. I'm going to pass it down, and I'm also going to advocate on that line so that people know exactly where it is coming from, and hopefully the Kamwata will have to pay. The Ambazonia Defense Forces do not ask money from that family. We have not asked them any money. But out of the record, I can tell you that in cases like this, even governments, they will come out and say we don't negotiate. But sometimes they will use the family members to negotiate. And sometimes it's the same thing with company. I'm not saying this is the case or this is not the case. I just want to let you know that we don't expect the family to pay. We are not asking money from the family. We are asking money from the company that hires him, that he was representing when he was picked up. So, but I'll forward your request to the War Council and to our leadership to assess it and the determination will be made. And I want you to understand that the governing council do not discriminate. We treat every citizen as our own citizens, and we will make special consideration when we deal with our own people. But any Ambazonian citizen who chooses to be hired by the Cameroon government or Cameroon multinational should also understand that when this company engage in economic activities within Ambazonia, they must do so on our terms. They have to follow the liberation wars, but as you have made this request, it's going to be taken seriously. And if there are feedbacks, I'll get back to you.
Thank you very, very much, Capo Daniel. I really do appreciate that. I'm going to I'll call in for follow-up maybe tomorrow, if that's okay with you.
Oh, that's fine. And just to let you know, the family have direct communication with us, and they have had contact with us, and we have kept them updated about the status of the subject, and we will continue to do that. And we will do so to you too on that community level, while also respecting the privacy of the family.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
God bless.
You too.
So, fellow Ambazonians, that was a caller from the United States. I just wanted people to understand the such interactions. One of the problems we have in Ambazonia is that everybody goes out there. People go out there and think that they are government. They try to speak on behalf of the whole fold, disregarding the right of other people to speak for themselves. If you are a government, then you can speak for everybody. If you are not a government, you cannot speak for everybody. You just speak for your group. No organization in Ambazonia can speak for everybody. You speak for the majority. You speak for the interest of the majority from your group, not for the entire group. So when you have these groups who think they are government, who are delusional about what the government is, and they go out there thinking they are speaking on behalf of Ambazonia, they are delusional and they make a fool of themselves. Every group should understand and respect that there are other factions in Ambazonia that may be minority, but they do exist. And nobody should claim to speak on behalf of the state or speak on behalf of the country when you do not. You speak for the interest of the country. You speak for the interest of the vast majority of the country, not for the country. And that should be clear in the mind of our people. Those who are delusional to think that they are government. A government is only the institution that have exclusive power. So when you go out there as a IG group, or whether you are IG of Seseko or you are IG of Sako, and you are claiming that you are a government, what you are claiming is that you are the only one who can speak for the country. You have the exclusive right to speak for the country when you do not. A group will be able, an organization will be able to do so when they will have a proper mandate through electoral board, through electoral mandating, when the people will vote for them and give them the power to give an institution the power to create a constitution or adopt a constitution and set up a government that can speak for the people. At that time, so a government or an official can say, I'm speaking authoritatively for the state and for everybody else. Until then, please keep it sane and don't be delusional, don't deceive yourself, because you only make yourself a fool. The international community gets it, and we should not allow ourselves and our nation to be ridiculed by people who think that they are governments. Thank you.